The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
Hello, I'm Rex Lita with the news. In this edition, new online system to ease recruitment drive, financial support for Madang's cocoa farmers, and PNG dominates Melanesian soccer finals. Papua New Guinea will take a major step towards climate leadership with the launch of the nation's first Climate Investment Summit on 8 December 2025, set to convene during PNG Investment Week at Sydney's International Convention Centre.
Following on from Papua New Guinea's participation at COP30 in Brazil, the summit is expected to draw regional and international attention, serving as a forum for business, government and community leaders to spotlight new investment opportunities and practical solutions at the intersection of climate and development. With an impressive lineup of speakers, the summit will feature high-profile experts and policymakers whose experience will help chart PNG's course toward a climate-resilient future. The central aim of the summit is to catalyze international investment into climate solutions developed and delivered by PNG players, with strong involvement from communities most impacted by climate change. The sessions will highlight success stories from local leaders and community-based projects, demonstrating how climate investment can drive inclusive progress and unlock new opportunities for all Papua New Guineans. As part of PNG Investment Week, the Climate Investment Summit delivers a unique chance to connect policy, finance and action on the most critical issues facing the nation and the region. It promises to be a defining moment for those eager to help shape PNG's future in the global climate conversation. Susan Oreape, TV1 News.
The new member for Usinabundi, Vincent Kumura, has raised concerns in Parliament about the use of garnishee orders to access funds from District Development Authority accounts. His concerns come after his district lost 3 million kina over 2 years through garnishee orders. He called for the Finance Department to look into this.
My district administrator told me that he was not put on notice at least a week or two before the garnishee orders were taken and funds were being wired out of the account. Can we please serve a notice to banks so that they must be notified appropriately to make sure that district development authorities are being notified for any garnishee order proceedings against our account? Thank you.
Make sure that we get to the bottom of this, my good member. My department, through my secretary, we will conduct an inquiry into this one. From Department of Finance, from our end, we just remit the funds to the DDAs. Once the funds are remitted to the DDAs, they take full carriage of those public funds. And under the Public Finance Management Act, we can conduct inspections into these accounts. And so with the issue of funds legally or illegally remitted or removed, without the knowledge of the DDA, raises a lot of concerns, and we will be writing to the banks. The banks should also take some important steps in this regard. They have a duty of care to ensure that the good chairman of the DDAs, the good CEOs of those DDAs, are notified in advance.
The Ministry of Health intends to inform the public and clarify recent concerns raised in Parliament by Oro Governor Gary Jufa regarding the ongoing reforms to Papua New Guinea's medical supplies system. Health Minister Elias Pavore, in a statement this week, said the government acknowledges these concerns and reaffirms its commitment to fully implementing the Public Accounts Committee's recommendations arising from the 2018 inquiry into the management of medicines and medical supplies. He said these structural reforms in place, major investments underway, and clear governance mechanisms established, we are rebuilding the medical supply chain from the foundation up. The Minister for Health is committed to delivering a modern, transparent and reliable system that ensures no Papua New Guinean is denied access to essential medicines. The National St. John Ambulance today graduated 24 new ambulance officers following a successful completion of a 12-week Ambulance Officer Level 1 course at the National Ambulance Education College in Baruni, Port Moresby. These graduates are equipped to uphold St. John's mission of serving the nation by delivering excellence in emergency care to Papua New Guineans.
The new ambulance officers are ready to respond to emergencies, embody National St. John Ambulance core values of care, agility, respect, excellence, and service above self, and contribute to the health and well-being of communities around the country. The intensive training program combines classroom instruction with practical hands-on learning, covering the management of medical, trauma, and psychological emergencies. In addition, they completed an advanced emergency driving course to ensure they can respond safely under varied and often challenging conditions. National St. John Ambulance Chief Executive Kai Tain congratulated the graduates.
You'll now transition to your on-road experience as training ambulance officers, working alongside your seasoned colleagues. Your commitment and your training shows your readiness to deliver life-saving care to the communities in need, especially in times of crisis or danger. You're joining National St. John Ambulance at a critical time. The need for emergency medical care in PNG is vast, and for many, you will be the first people and the only people that will come and respond, and sometimes you'll be the only responders that the community members have ever seen. Your presence in the field will give families hope that help will come, and you will provide reassurance to your communities. The work you do will not only save lives, but it will strengthen the bonds between the National St. John Ambulance and the communities we serve.
Recruits also undertook parade drills, bootcamp-style physical training designed to build discipline, teamwork, and resilience, which are qualities essential for the demanding role of an ambulance officer. The graduates will now begin a 9-month trainee ambulance officer placement, working alongside experienced ambulance officers to gain on-road experience and on-the-job training in both urban and remote settings. 11 trainees are from the NCD, while the remaining 13 come from across the provinces, 2 from Central, 1 from Mount Hagen, 2 from East New Britain, 4 from Lae, and 4 from Ongai Bena in Eastern Highlands Province. Frida Kana, TV1 News.
The Papua New Guinea Defence Force has made significant advancements in its recruitment process by launching a new online recruitment system. This will enable job applicants to apply for jobs with the force from the comfort of their homes. The streaming of applicants online came about after the Ministry of Defence realized the hardship faced by interested applicants when applying manually, which often led to a slow and long process.
The introduction of the online recruitment system comes at a time when technology is growing rapidly and will assist the PNGDF recruitment process to be reliable, fast and accurate. Minister responsible for Defence, Dr. Billy Joseph, officiated at the launching today at Maori Barracks. Dr. Billy revealed that over the years, the manual recruitment system made it difficult for people in rural and remote areas to apply, and it placed a heavy burden on PNGDF staff, and the change came in. Through this new online platform, eligible Papua New Guineans from towns, settlements and the most remote villages with access to the internet can now apply using their phone or computer, upload their documents and be screened fairly and transparently.
The recruitment process that we have currently, the community, including myself, we saw that the recruitment process was not transparent. There was a lot of rumors and of the fact that there were people who were passing through joining PNGDF that should not be in PNGDF. So we had come up with a Defense Council decision to look at the whole recruitment process and look at how we can make it more transparent so that we get people who are supposed to be in PNGDF.
Dr. Billy said the transition to online recruitment is a directive from the Office of Prime Minister James Marape and reflects the government's commitment to modernize public services using ICT and digital tools. The system is currently run by Labour Solutions in the country in collaboration with PNGDF. As easy as it is, interested applicants who apply will have the information recorded directly to the PNGDF recruitment team through Labour Solution website and link. Michael Tamtipais, TVWAN News.
This is TVWAN News. Edai Town Fair underway and Australian Awards offers continue to offer opportunities. We'll have those stories and more when we come back.
For too long, banking has felt out of reach for many. But now, BSP's One-Took Wallet is here to change that. Send and receive money, pay bills, and top up. It's your money, wherever, whenever. Because at BSP, we are committed to improving how our customers connect to our One-Talks, to our family, to the ones we love. BSP's One-Took Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# for everyone.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Pine PNG made.
We've been traveling along this road together for over 50 years. Ella Motors acknowledges the visionaries and hard work that have been the driving strength to continued nation building. We live, prosper, sustainably grow with the community, whilst developing quality mobility chains, aspiring to be your first choice on every occasion. Ella Motors, celebrating with Papua New Guinea throughout our independence golden jubilee.
PNG's favorite soft drink now in bottles. Goldspot brings you fresh, bold flavors in brand new 500ml bottles. Taste the rainbow. More freshness, more flavor, more fun. Lime, orange, raspberry, and pineapple. Proudly made in PNG. Proudly Goldspot.
Show the dishes who's boss. Fight mess with Axion, the tough grease stripper. 100% effective at doing the dirty work. The triple active power breaks down tough grease, and its antibacterial formula leaves dishes squeaky clean. Get tough on grease. Get Axion.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
Pursuit closes. Chelsea leads. Gillian gets her. Greats from 40 out. Nails the moment.
Carlton have won their second final and have won their way into a preliminary final for the first time.
Welcome back. Papua New Guinea has launched the National Social Protection Policy 2022 to 2030, marking a major milestone for vulnerable and marginalized groups. The event took place in Mount Hagen and was led by Minister for Youth, Religion and Community Development, Jason Peter. The launch aligns with the 20 Days of Human Rights Activism and aims to strengthen support system for women, children, persons with disabilities, and the elderly. The policy highlights the government's commitment to protecting people from the womb to the tomb. Before the launch, the Social Protection Secretariat held a 3-day workshop to prepare the Highlands Regional Implementation Plan. The policy was first submitted in 2022. It was approved in 2023 and now provides a clear pathway to improve lives nationwide. The 2025 Edai Town Business Fair is on again, with an interesting weekend ahead, where visitors will be treated not just to a fest of activities, but will also serve as a hub for business and SMEs. The fair will provide a platform for local farmers to sell their produce, while enabling Edai Town development to showcase the innovations and developments taking place there.
The fair opened today with an array of activities, including the Edai Siabo Poetry in Motion by school students, transforming the historical Edai story.
What we could spirit that starts with small eggs that hatch.
Edai Town Development Manager Kim Yong provided a brief rundown of what's expected this weekend.
The idea is to, first of all, everybody enjoys a fair, but we want something different. Which means that the opportunity to learn new skills, new business ideas, and so we put everybody together and the government support. So we actually, Edai Town has an MOU with SMAC, SME Corporation. So we're trying to do the same thing, which is encourage small businesses. So here with the business side, we start them with the nano market. That means the fresh produce, the farmers in the central province, particularly Hirikoyari. They will come in full force tomorrow for the weekend. So for now, we have the micro stalls where this could be hobbies or they could be people trying seriously to get into business.
Since the establishment of this town, it has attracted 400 home buyers who now own homes there. And the fair will also serve as a venue for potential home buyers to get first-hand information about new housing products Edai is offering. One product is the rent-to-buy concept targeting middle-income earners.
So we still need to get to the target, which is why I'm introducing this rent-to-buy concept. So you must want to own your own home. That's number one, because it's an investment. But you cannot start yet, so we work with the employer because a lot of employers are already giving rental assistance and so on, and even your IRC is giving assistance because you can package it so that you don't pay tax when you get a proper tenancy. So putting that all together, we can frame, and you have to have the discipline because you have to save the equity in order to get the loan. So when we put it all together, I am very confident it will work. But it needs to start with the discipline or you want to own a home.
Edai Town is also championing the Black Soldier Fly technology, a low-cost sustainable solution to organic waste management, and will showcase at the fair tomorrow. Edai Town is a township located 20 kilometers west of Port Moresby. Ruth Rungola, TV1 News.
Cocoa farmers in Madang province will continue to receive support from the Madang provincial government to boost production in the coming years. Madang Governor Ramsey Pariwa gave this assurance to farmers when he officially opened a new cocoa nursery and a cocoa bud wood garden for the New Me Cocoa Produce Cooperative at Undini Waguk Hamlet in Ward 17 of Ambedob LNG in Madang recently.
Governor Pariva announced at the gathering that the Madang Provincial Executive Council has already approved another 2 million for the Madang Provincial Cocoa Development Program to boost production and put money into the pockets of the little people in the rural settings of the province. This is a new funding arrangement and is not part of the initial 1.1 million kina allocated by the provincial government to the Cocoa Board to roll out the cocoa program in the province. Pariva pledged his commitment to support this sector and make Madang smell for cocoa. He also announced a funding of 50,000 kina to assist the Numi Cocoa Produce Cooperative. The governor said this intervention is a reward to the cooperative society for the initial in organizing themselves to progress cocoa development without waiting for free handouts from the government. Numi Cocoa Produce Cooperative represents 13 primary cooperatives, which are all from 6 districts of Madang. Madang Provincial Cocoa Board Manager Abel Nepre praised the governor for his continuous support to the cocoa sector in the province. The chairman of Numi Cocoa Produce Cooperative, Presley Uiweb, thanked Governor Pariva for the funding allocation and said it will be shared evenly amongst the 13 primary cooperatives to help them. Michael Tamtipais, TVWAN News.
In commemoration of the World Children's Day, which falls annually on November 20th, Australia has reflected on its support to Papua New Guinea in advancing children's rights, particularly its investment in education. This year's theme, My Day, My Rights, highlights the right children are entitled to, including the right to life, health, education, play and protection from violence. Australia, through the PNG Australia Partnership, continues to work together with Papua New Guinea's National Department of Education and the Provincial Division of Education to ensure every child has access to quality learning. Under the Australian-funded Partnerships for Improving Education initiative, this collaboration focuses on building a stronger, more inclusive education system. Through targeted support to improve access and learning, Australia has helped strengthen teacher training programs, improve classroom resources, and promote inclusive practices that cater to all children of all abilities. Australia Award remains to be the biggest provider of scholarships to Papua New Guinean scholars for the last 49 years or more. Representing the Australian Award, Laura Marston, Councillor of Education and Leadership from Australian High Commission, was at the Overseas Scholarship Workshop to talk about the Australia Awards. She thanked the Nation Training Councillor for convening the important conversation, and one that really goes to the heart of how we build a skilled, inclusive and future-ready workforce for Papua New Guinea.
It's really timely to reflect on how far PNG has come in the past 50 years, but also where it's headed. Scholarships have long played a role in shaping this journey, but today's also an opportunity to ask how we can better coordinate these opportunities to meet PNG's national development goals. Australia welcomes the opportunity to be part of that conversation. Our scholarship program, the Australia Awards program, is already working in close partnership with PNG's government, institutions and the private sector to support the ambitions laid out in the National Training Policy 2022 to 2032. And importantly, Australia Awards supports the very objectives.
Now a look at the finance news. The kina closed lower at $0.2365 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2290, $0.3528 Australian dollars, 0.1906 euro, and 35.78 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, coffee, cocoa, copra, palm oil and crude oil closed higher, while gold and copper closed lower. And on the stock market, The Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX closed lower, and all ordinaries closed lower as well. You are watching TVWAN News. We'll have the overseas news when we come back. Stay with us.
Banking doesn't have to be complicated. With PSP's One Talk Wallet, control your money wherever, whenever. Dial *131#, enter your PIN, select cash in or out, and generate a secure code to withdraw cash. It's the only wallet for cardless ATM withdrawals. Send and receive funds, pay for goods and bills, or withdraw cash with ease. All with PSP's One Talk Wallet. PSP's One Talk Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# today.
From the rich soils of the highlands, the finest coffee has been grown by generations of Papua New Guineans. Expertly blended and roasted with over 80 years of experience, making the finest cup of Nescafe New Guinea blend. PNG's own coffee.
Life is about making memories, sharing new adventures. Go beyond the familiar. Don't let bacteria hold you back from experiencing the world. Protex uses natural antibacterial protection with flaxseed oil and eliminates 99.9% of bacteria. Free yourself. Go beyond with Protex.
Long year 2024, 7 baby I born one time HIV. HIV I can go long baby long triple rot. Time bel mama I get HIV, long time long carrying baby, na time baby is susu. Tasol Yumi can help him bel mama, long look out him baby inside long bell. Go quick time long bel mama clinic, na kiss him antenatal check. Time Yumi pan him sick HIV area, or time bel mama I positive penis, early treatment I can save him baby. Give him baby healthy start long life. Stop him spread long sick HIV I go long baby. This lutok sawe I come long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
Enjoy life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Haren Tok Young or roll a scale rice family meal with talk. We'll bring out the smiles cause it's a favorite by miles. Seni Sigola scale rice low scale price. Seni Sigola scale rice low scale price.
But you like him?
Tambo true lonkarim or salim nasimokim. Marijuana or all drugs, no good ikam lo overseas or some cocaine or crystal meth. Nupla law or likolim Controlled Substances Act 2021 by making sawe lo you lo baim court fine enough money mark enough lo 2 million kina or go life year calabus. This platok sawe ikam long National Narcotics Bureau. One time Halivim, Willem Australia Papua New Guinea Law Na Justice Partnership.
Ashman again, where's he come from? Where indeed?
Push it into space, around the corner is Pellegrini, around the Pellegrini, using his pace.
England can finish it, Roma! All over! Turning it wide, Picardo all the way, Costa Picardo!
Thanks for staying with us. Australia will not host the United Nations Annual Climate Summit in 2026, instead handing it over to rival bidder Turkey. 3 years of campaigning to bring the COP31 climate talks to Adelaide in partnership with Pacific nations were dashed in last gasp negotiations at the 2025 event in Brazil. While Australia had the overwhelming backing of the Western European to stage the 2026 event, under the UN rules, hosting rights are decided by consensus and negotiations, not a vote. In a standoff where Turkey was unwilling to cede ground and with a deadline looming, Australia compromised by withdrawing its hopes to stage the event. Canberra's First Nations community has accused ACT police of racial profiling after an Aboriginal teenager was detained at gunpoint in a case of mistaken identity. The Chief Police Officer has apologized and says they are investigating, but it's standing by the officer's actions and denies the force has a problem with systemic racism.
First Nations family calling out police.
A child who had never committed a crime was treated like a criminal. He was treated like a threat, and he was treated as less than human.
Police searching for a violent carjacker on the run in Woden last week stopped a bus and pointed their guns at an innocent Aboriginal teenager.
He is scared to leave the house alone. He refuses to catch a bus, and he lives in fear of police, and that fear was created by your officers.
Police have apologised for what they say was a case of mistaken identity.
During the response, information was received by police that a young person matching the physical and clothing description of the alleged offender was on a bus.
What happened to our nephew was not a mistake. It was not a misunderstanding. It was a gross violation of a child's human rights.
Advocates say it's just the latest case of systemic racism by ACT Police.
They've never got any resources, but when it comes to do with anything with our mob, they've got plenty of resources to hunt them, chase them down, lock them up.
I don't believe that we have institutional racism. We obviously have more to do to improve the way we police here in the ACT, that engagement with the First Nations community and making sure we're building trust with the First Nations community.
An investigation will review the officers' body-worn camera footage and CCTV from the bus, but the officers involved won't be stood down while that investigation is underway. The Chief Police Officer argues detaining the boy at gunpoint was an appropriate use of force, but the investigation will focus on why the boy was still searched even after police realised they had the wrong person.
He keeps asking me that if he done anything wrong or if there's anything he could have did, but I keep trying to reassure him that it wasn't his fault. He wasn't in the wrong. He did nothing wrong.
Would they pull to have done what they did to the only white kid on that bus?
A plea for honesty and action.
Indonesia's free meals program has been running for almost a year now, but in recent months a growing scandal has emerged. Thousands of children getting sick from food poisoning. The program is reaching tens of millions of Indonesians, mostly young students. The Nutrition Agency, which runs the program, has apologized for poisonings and says it wants to improve as it expands rapidly.
Which is one of the recipients of President Prabowo Subianto's free nutritious school meals program, one of his signature policies. It's been launched in a bid to address malnutrition and stunting in children. But let's have a look at what's on the menu today. Some of the kids have already eaten a lot of their free school meals because, of course, they're saying that it's really tasty today. You can see some ayam, some chicken, some nasi, some rice, as well as salad and vegetables. There's been a lot of controversy around this program over the last few months because of the number of children that have contracted food poisoning after eating these meals. The latest figures from an NGO is that more than 16,000 children across the country have been made ill, some of them with very, very serious food poisoning after eating meals.
Even one child that becomes sick because of the program should be considered a disaster. The President, as a leader, needs to say that. He really does not understand the human rights perspective.
It's prompted a major response from the President directing the Nutrition Agency to tighten up food safety standards.
One case is too many for us, but this is a challenge of growth, not challenge of neglect. This is a living system. We learn every day. We don't see this is a failure, but this is a teacher for us to strengthen our system.
So ultimately the question is, can they make sure that they maintain safety standards as the program expands so rapidly and avoid further children from being made sick?
Thousands of retirement homes are under construction in regional Queensland town of Bundaberg. The council hopes the boom in over 50s accommodation will help ease the housing crisis, but there are concerns about the increased pressure on health and aged care sectors.
A construction boom marketed at retirees. This parcel of land just minutes from the beach is one of 18 retirement home developments given the green light by the Bundaberg Regional Council.
There's quite a number of developments that have been approved for retirement living.
A combined 3,600 individual dwellings, with hopes the build will open up more housing for the wider population.
Those people that are moving, they're vacating homes that can be for families, so that's important.
Most of the dwellings are being built along the coastal suburbs, attracting downsizers and those who want a sea change. But not everyone's convinced it's all positive.
No, I'm a bit old school. They're going to cut me out of my property in a box.
We're very short on health specialists, so that's a problem, I think, for retirees.
More than 40% of people living in the region are aged over 55. And with one of the highest percentages of over 65s in the country, extra supports are required.
We need more hospitals, more doctors, more physios, all those other services that people need.
That is something that I have been talking to developers about, building more nursing homes. We know that we need them.
Bundaberg and the Wide Bay region has seen property prices more than double in the past 5 years, but it's still considered relatively affordable compared to southeast Queensland, with a median property price of $660,000. But as more housing developments push ahead, that price growth is predicted to slow.
20 years ago, using insects to combat pests in crops was seen as something of a fringe idea. Now it's mainstream, with so-called good bugs dispatched far and wide, ready to heads on delivery and get to work, devouring the bad ones.
Are getting ready for Christmas. These poinsettias are growing at a wholesale nursery in southeast Queensland, and they're under attack from bugs. They're treating the issue through IPM, or Integrated Pest Management, using a combination of beneficial bugs along with other methods.
We wanted to get away from chemicals. We wanted to reduce our environmental footprint and just try to incorporate these bugs into our system.
Bugs for Bugs have 3 insectary locations across southeast Queensland. It's in Donnybrook the bugs are bred in large greenhouses.
This is what the team here call reverse farming. They are growing crops to have them intentionally attacked by bugs. And it's a really delicate balance to keep the plants alive while introducing so many pests. And they reckon that if they were to ever turn up to a farm and see this, they'd be horrified.
These greenhouses generate millions of bugs, cultivating both baddies and goodies. Accompanying this are insectaries which are more lab-looking. Dan Papacek is one of the company's founders, which started in 1981, well before IPM was considered anything but woo-woo.
When I started, it was very much fringe. I felt very much out in the wilderness. In fact, we got a lot of critical comment.
The bugs used are often minuscule, but with a mighty job.
These are Californicus mites here. They're part of a group of predatory mites that are really important in biological control. We use these predominantly for control of spider mites in a range of crops. They're very aggressive, they're very active, and they're also a bit of a generalist. They'll feed on other things such as immature thrips, and they'll also feed a bit on pollen.
They're so incredibly tiny. How did you ever find them?
Yeah, they are amazing. But a lot of the stuff we're working with is down at this level. Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that people don't realise, that things that they can't even see are doing such a powerful job to help manage pests out there in the field.
You're watching TVWAN News. Later in sports, MSG Prime Minister's Cup tournament nears end.
Start your day by doing the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate. Wake up. Brush your teeth. And smile. your day with Colgate.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
Meet UmiPay, your digital wallet from TISA Bank. Your gateway to seamless transactions. Withdraw cash anytime at your nearest TISA agent. Send money to family and friends.
Hello, son.
Anytime, anywhere. Top up and pay with just a scan. From taxis to coffee and small businesses, UmiPay makes every payment simple. UmiPay, powered by TISA Bank.
Hi.
Yes.
Can I get a loan for my PNG contract?
You need to fill out these forms, these ones, and then you can get back to me. Okay?
Hello? Hello? Anyone? Hi, I'm Kenny. Can I get a loan here?
Not here. Not right now.
Hi, I'm Kenny. Can I get a loan here?
Of course, Kenny. I'll take down your details. I'll help with the credit check.
Thank you.
And I'll help with your business plan.
1 car Kenny, 20 car Kenny, 1,000 car Kenny. FinCorp, fast forward your finance from zero to hero.
The NBA on ESPN is happening now. We don't know who's going to catch fire or who will shock the world. We don't know which bucket will break some hearts, who's showing up courtside, if dynasties will ever dynasty again. And we don't know which play will become a poster. But we do know that for tip-off, Christmas, finals, and everywhere in between,
Stop playing with me.
ESPN is your home for hoops.
We were like rock stars.
When you pose nude, people seem to think it grants them ownership of you.
No one who loved a human being would do this. She was beaten that bad.
Nothing can prepare you for that.
It was the biggest news story on the planet. There was so much at stake in this case.
This was a toxic relationship.
Kanye may be a rich and powerful artist, but he's never dealt with the Kardashian legal machine.
The men's team PNG Gold has secured its spot in the MSG Prime Minister's Cup Grand Final after a 2-0 victory over Fiji in the semi-final yesterday. The team remains confident and is aiming to keep the MSG Cup in Papua New Guinea.
The match began with PNG pushing hard for an early lead when Nigel Dabiniapa delivered a cross kick to Tommy Semi, which almost resulted in a goal. Moments later, Fiji's Thomas Dunn fired a powerful shot, but PNG goalkeeper Dave Tomare made an impressive save. Midfielder Emmanuel Simon led PNG's attacking momentum with excellent ball control inside Fiji's half. PNG returned to the field with more energy. Emmanuel Simon tested the keeper with a shot on target, and Dabiniapa continued his strong form with dangerous crosses. One of Dabiniapa's crosses found star striker and veteran Raymond Gunemba to finish off a classic goal to give PNG the lead, 1-0.
Gunemba, it bounces. Raymond Gunemba! Around 57 minutes, the PNG captain has powered his side.
PNG kept the pressure on Fiji, attacking heavily inside the red zone. Rex Taime fired a shot that deflected off the crossbar, and Gunemba reacted quickly to tap the ball in, securing the second goal of the match.
Ronnie Nyberg, near post, Gunemba's double comes!
PNG's defense maintained firm throughout the match, keeping Fiji's key strikers Christopher Wasasala and Joshua Sela quiet. Veteran defender Daniel Joe, supported by Thomas Yangum, Shane Sakael and Abraham Allen, held the backline strong until the final whistle. Assistant coach Bob Morris praised the team's performance in the second half to outplay Fiji, one of the strongest sides in the tournament.
I think our performance was very consistent. We had the shape, we had everything that we trained. I think the players put it today on field. As you can see, we had a lot of chances going up front, but then when we lost the chances, we have to defend. And I think they followed the same game plan that we told them. I think the first half we knew Fiji because they have the strength, they're tall, they're very aggressive. So we told the boys to just hang in there. And we see the first half we studied the game tactic, game plan, and that's why we held a bit. But I think the captain did his job in the second half when we went back here.
With the victory, PNG now advances to the MSC's Prime Minister's Cup Grand Final, aiming to add another title to their two previous wins. Michael Tamtipais, TVWAN Sports.
In the second semi-final of the inaugural MSG Prime Minister's Cup Women's Competition, Fiji defeated Vanuatu with a score of 3-1, securing their place in the grand final. Fiji will now face the host side, the PNG women, who beat Solomon Islands yesterday.
The battle for a spot in the final between Fiji and Vanuatu showed a lot of determination and passion. The first half was fiercely contested, ending a 0-0 draw at halftime. Vanuatu dominated the first 10 minutes with several attacks on the Fiji goal line. Striker Leileta Simon opened Vanuatu's attack with a shot on target. Adding to their consecutive attacks, Rita Solomon pressed forward with the ball towards the Fiji goal line, but Fiji maintained strong defense. Fiji retaliated in the last 10 minutes when Andi Bakanithewa led the charge to attempt a goal, but she was stopped by Vanuatu keeper Amelia Reddy. Possession made an early shift to Fiji's side in the opening minutes of the second half. An early decisive moment was set by Fiji winger Serena Naweni, who scored the first goal for her side.
In the box of Fiji and Serena Naweni. Well, they've been looking for that counter-attack the entire afternoon.
Vanuatu's Henrietta Sangu was given a yellow card while defending. Fiji advanced with great ball dribbling, which led to a goal by Fijian substitute Narieta Lemba.
Ball from Bakanitheva as Narieta Lemba is in the box for Fiji. Well, it was a slip by Amelia Reddy, and Narieta Lemba has doubled the lead.
Vanuatu immediately fired back with a goal from their captain LSC Tambunase just minutes after Fiji's second goal.
Yamata Simon. And she smacks that in. Vanuatu had pulled one back almost immediately.
Vanuatu trailed 1-2. Fiji's Naweni nearly scored her double for the match in the last 15 minutes, but the Vanuatu keeper was quick to save. Vanuatu stepped up their attacking plays in an attempt to equalize the score when Laimata headed towards the Fiji goal line but missed. Sevana Nassau from Fiji found the net towards the end, securing a 3-1 victory.
That ball allowed to bounce. Semanasau, edge of the box, over and ready!
And sending her team to meet PNG in the MSG Prime Minister's Cup Women's Inaugural Grand Final. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
Regardless of FIFA rules on giving players 48 hours rest before their next game, the host organizing committee of the 2025 MSG Prime Minister's Cup has decided to proceed with the third and fourth place playoffs tomorrow. This will now see Fiji meet Solomon Islands in the men's playoff and Vanuatu take on the Solomon Islands in the women's playoffs.
Solomon Islands, Edward.
The Solomon Islands men's team will try to save face when they meet Fiji in the third place playoff tomorrow. The Solomon Islands entered the tournament as a fancied team but failed to fire losing the opening group game to PNG Gold and lost their semi-final playoff to Vanuatu in a disappointing finish 2-1. They take on the Fijian outfit that went down scoreless to a talented PNG team that gave their all to defend their title on home turf. The Solomon Islands men have a tough task at hand. Fiji men's team head coach Stephen Hovray was disappointed that they didn't make the grand final, but accepts the third place playoff. He looks forward to assembling a strong team in their next tournament.
Because I needed to see as many players as I could. So I did see some for this tournament. I still need to see the overseas players. So this will probably be for our next FIFA date. And a few players at the Pacific Cup. So yes, I got to see some players, but for the tournaments that will be coming in the next 2-3 years, I need to see much more players so we have more quality in our squad.
The women's team will also put in an entertaining encounter. The Solomon Islands have had the better of the Vanuatu in a couple of their recent outings. The Vanuatu women are expected to give a good game against the Solomon Islands.
Lolokwai on the edge, Simon waiting, Yamata Simon, and she smacks that in! Vanuatu had pulled one back almost immediately.
The women's game starts at 2 p.m, followed by the men's game at 5 p.m. The medal presentation for the third place teams will be done at the conclusion of the men's playoff. The 2025 MSG Prime Minister's Cup Grand Final will be held on Sunday.
The Manunda Hawks Cairns are excited to announce the signing of Kelly Kaugler, a straight-out PNG player for the 2026 season. Known for elite pace, toughness and an outstanding work rate, Kelly arrives with a resume that spans multiple competitions and formats.
Hailing from Lae, Morobe Province, Kelly has made his mark across Australia and PNG, including stints with Nihil Tigers in Melbourne in 2023 and District Sporting Club in the Wimmera Football Netball League. He has also added valuable experience with Broadbeach and has represented both Papua New Guinea and Queensland on representative stages. The Hawks PNG connection remains strong with fellow Papua New Guineans David Topani and Kilarawali already contracted to the club. According to Topani, the existing arrangement facilitated the signing of Kelly for 2026, further strengthening the Hawks PNG ties. Kelly and Topani are currently in pre-season training in Port Moresby ahead of joining the club after the Christmas-New Year break in January. A product of AFL PNG's Junior Academy program, Kelly made his debut for the PNG Mosquitoes in 2017 and was part of last year's squad that won the AFL Pacific Cup in Queensland, Australia. He is renowned for his explosive running, clean hands, and the ability to impact contests all over the ground. He brings leadership, professionalism, and a genuine hunger to compete at the highest level. The Hawks have embarked on a robust off-season recruitment drive, aiming to go one better in 2026 after narrowly missing the playoffs this year. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The British High Commissioner Annie Macro, PNG Commonwealth Games President Emma YY, along with state officials, PNG Olympic Committee and athletes held a reception yesterday to celebrate the King's Baton Relay.
The welcome reception held at the British High Commission yesterday signified PNG's anticipation of participating in the King's Baton Relay, leading into the Glasgow 2026 Commonwealth Games in Scotland. The King's Baton will tour the Oceania region from January 2nd to March 26th, 2026, ahead of the Games. PNG will host each leg of the relay from January 8th to 13th. The Baton Relay is a Commonwealth Games tradition where the King's Baton is taken on tour to all participating countries. The final leg of the tour will be in the host country. The relay will culminate in the opening ceremony of the Commonwealth Games. For the 2026 King's Baton Relay, it will be touring 74 Commonwealth countries, including Papua New Guinea. The relay will culminate in the opening ceremony of the Glasgow Commonwealth Games on July 23, 2026. The PNG Olympic Committee is committed to working with athletes, corporate sponsors and stakeholders in ensuring PNG athletes compete at the highest level international events and represent Papua New Guinea.
That wraps up the sports segment. Now the weather forecast.
In regional focus, southern Port Moresby, cloudy periods with some rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Kerema, partly cloudy with brief showers and possible thunderstorms. Momase, Ley, partly cloudy then some rain showers. Wewak, cloudy periods with some rain showers and possible thunderstorms. New Guinea Islands, Lorengau, cloudy periods with some rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Kokopo Rabaul, cloudy periods with few showers and possible thunderstorms. And Highlands region, Garuka, Bans and Kundiawa, cloudy periods with some rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Other Highland centers, cloudy periods with some rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Ocean forecast for PNG areas for the next 24 hours. Coral Sea, seas light to moderate with southeasterly to southwesterly winds of 10 to 20 knots. Solomon Sea, seas light with southwesterly to northwesterly winds of 10 to 50 knots. Bismarck Sea, seas light with westerly to southwesterly winds of 10 to 50 knots. Pacific Ocean, seas smooth with southwesterly to northwesterly winds of 5 to 10 knots. And coastal waters forecast. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Island, Kerema Yule Island, Hood Point to Samarai Island, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters of Samarai Island to Cape Virgil and Old Milne Bay Islands, seas 1.0 to 2.0 meters. Waters of Cape Virgil to Wuon Gulf to Finsafen, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters.
That has been another edition of TV1 News. Pleasant viewing. Good night.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by